You might have more to say next time.
I think I've already said it, to be honest, but I feel like I can't say it enough. OpenAI has a Nazi problem. There's a
What a
bunch of
teaser.
articles. I know, right? Yeah, there's a bunch of articles out about it. And we talked about the content filtering. I mean, I wasn't trying to do anything nefarious, just to be really clear, but I was trying to understand how the model and how it was working. And like, as a product person, this would be my job if it was my product.
Mhm.
I got a cameo of a actual human being as a Nazi, and I
Mhm.
was flabbergasted.
Were you intentionally trying to get that to happen?
No, I
No.
wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't trying that at all, and it was a
Hmm.
little surprising that decided Nazi, and it was even more surprising to me that a living human being or a real human being who isn't a Nazi could be superimposed into a scene. The official statement from OpenAI is some users chose. I'm like, that's bullshit on this platform because, like, yeah, you might ask it to do something crazy, and it would if they didn't have, safety filters or whatever you want to call it in front of it. But they're totally trying to sidestep their responsibility, and the software that they've created is non-deterministic, which means they don't know necessarily what it's going to do either, but they need to take responsibility for that. You can't put that all on the user because I did a thing that I wasn't even
Hmm.
intending to do. And if I was really nefarious or trying to do some crazy, it probably would work.
Hmm.
And that's just not okay in 2025. It's probably never been okay, but we know, you know, Google, like, I think our first podcast, we talked about this. We're still talking
Yes.
about
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
three fucking years later. And
Yeah.
I'm not upset, but I'm really disappointed that we're still perpetuating the same thing. I was texting with a friend and I said something along the lines of, I could kind of understand historical context. If people are creating a World War II battle Sora video or something and they wanted to, okay, maybe like, we make Hollywood films about this
Hmm.
stuff, but that's in a very confined context. And in my mind, that needs to be 100% fiction. You
Hmm.
should not be able to put any living or dead human in a Nazi uniform that didn't choose to wear a Nazi uniform. Like,
Yeah.
obviously the Nazis wore uniforms, right? So like, if you want to put Hitler in a video or something, I don't know what, there's a whole rabbit hole of ethics to go down for that. But any other human being today, no. Like, that should just be a hard no. And like, if I'm, I have a hard time with it because it's a controversial topic, but also from a creativity perspective, or there's a huge educational, again, like you could, generate videos and show like why this stuff was so bad, or how things, reenactments, that kind of stuff. But
Hmm.
that needs to be gated through some level of proficiency or validation of intent, because it's way too easy for this to just completely go out the window and have everybody in their unleashing their weird fantasies on people who don't want it or don't want to be a part of it or have consented in way like that. It's like they're trying to play this game. I guess is fundamentally what this is they want you to select the null state, right? They want you to say, I explicitly don't want to have my image used in these ways. That's impossible because there is an infinite amount of ways people can come up with things to do to your image,
Hmm.
right? And they don't want to have to go through the work to say, I explicitly give consent to be in a fictitious film that's non-controversial. I give
Hmm.
consent to be in a fictitious film that is controversial, right? Like, you should have a right to do that. But it's a much, 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 much more difficult problem. And they're not even trying to touch it. They're just saying, if you don't want to be involved, don't participate and tell us. And it's like, that's nonsense. You can't just opt me in without my permission and then make me explicitly say I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah. I think there are two levels that I see here. Like one's they're handling that situation as like a whether you want to call it like PR or how
Yeah.
they're rolling it out, right? And then there's a technical element to it. Like some of the stuff you're describing is very, very technically difficult, right? You and I know that's very, very
Well, it's
technically
ethically
difficult.
difficult to try to
Yeah, yeah.
understand, and they try to scapegoat this by saying, oh, we're trying to teach the world how to use this technology. It's not the right way to do it.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
right? We're
I
not
don't
teaching
disagree with you
people
there.
nuclear physics so that they experiment with radium in their bathroom and get cancer, right? It just because like viewing AI isn't going to give you cancer probably, and other things will, that it's somehow better and safer. It's like psychologically traumatizing for people. I just think it's disgusting. And I'm not against AI at all, right? I work in it, I work with it every day. I build AI, but that doesn't excuse your responsibility to try to make the world a better place. And I don't see how they're even trying to do that. And they keep trying to gaslight people into thinking that that's what they're doing. And that's fundamentally dishonest. And that's just all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I think your last few seconds there are pretty clear. And I agree with that as well. I think a lot of people do, given the history of OpenAI specifically.
I
Right?
think
So,
more and more people are catching on now too, and it's unfortunate that it has to be released to the population for people to figure this out.
mm,
Because we've, whether intentionally or not, basically made all information you see or hear that's digital
available.
fake.
Yeah.
It's fake,
Hmm.
right? Like you can't
Hmm.
validate anything anymore,
Yeah.
or it's really hard to. Cool. Good job, humans.
This is the world we live in now. Yeah.
All right. Happy Friday.
You too, man.